Welcome to the Deep Dive, your essential AI news digest. We synthesize the key developments each week, pulling from our Before AGI weekly sources to give you clear, actionable insights. Today, we're really digging into what's moving the needle in artificial intelligence, not just the headlines, but the deeper currents shaping, well, everything. And this past week, it really feels like we've hit a critical maturation point. Our sources are calling it the Great Diversification, and it's touching everything, isn't it? Hardware, regulation, the talent driving it all.
Exactly. And the Great Diversification, it's more than just a buzzword. It signals a real shift.
Yeah.
We're moving away from, that monolithic hype of the early AI cycles. Now it's becoming a much more complex, resilient, even multipolar ecosystem, which means new fault lines, new opportunities. It's reshaping the landscape.
How so? Give us an example.
We'll take hardware. For ages, it felt like NVIDIA was the only game in town. Now we're seeing Google's TPUs making serious inroads, especially for inference. That directly hits the operational costs for, well, almost every major AI service. Or look at governance. It's not just top-down rules anymore. We're seeing collaborative efforts like region-specific ethics frameworks that reflect local values.
So it's getting more complex, but maybe also more stable, less reliant on single points.
Precisely. It de-risks things in some ways, but introduces these sophisticated new dynamics. So this deep dive should give you some tangible insights, whether you're deep in the tech world or just really curious about where this is all headed.
Okay, let's unpack this then. First up, the next frontier in generative AI. There's been a lot of anticipation, especially around OpenAI. Sam Altman confirmed GPT-5, expected summer 2025. And the key phrase from early testers, materially better than GPT-4. That's quite a claim.
It really is.
Yeah.
Materially better. What does that actually mean for you, for real-world use? It likely means better nuance, understanding complex prompts with multiple layers, hopefully fewer hallucinations, fewer outright mistakes, and definitely a bigger capacity for that multi-step reasoning we all need.
And they already released the O3 and O4 mini models earlier, right? Their most advanced reasoning models so far.
That's right. Already capable of using tools, better visual processing. If these multimodal capabilities really mature in GPT-5, imagine interacting with AI using text, images, video, audio, all seamlessly. Like it understands your sketch and your spoken command about it.
Okay, switching gears slightly, but staying with generative AI, the creative space. Midjourney, they're known for stunning images. Now they're jumping into video. Model V1, text-to-video, 16-second animated clips.
Yeah, what's interesting is their focus. They're really emphasizing aesthetic control, the artistic style. It's not just about chasing photorealism, which seems to be the goal for Runway or OpenAI's Sora.
So they're carving out a different niche, more for artists and designers.
Exactly. If you're a creative professional, you often care more about that unique visual style, that consistent aesthetic. This could be huge for generating stylized animations directly from text. Think about independent artists, smaller studios. It makes high-quality, distinctive video more accessible.
And this whole field isn't just the big names. The open source competition is heating up too. We saw China's startup Minimax release its M1 model, Apache 2.0 license. And they're claiming top-tier performance, but needing less computing power.
Right. And that Apache 2.0 license is key. It means it's truly open for anyone to use, modify, build on. That really lowers the barrier, fosters competition, especially for smaller players who can't afford expensive licenses for proprietary models. It helps democratize access to this powerful tech.
Okay, let's pivot to the human and financial side of things, the battlegrounds. Talent wars and these massive investments. This is where it gets really interesting, maybe a bit wild. Sam Altman's allegations about Meta, claiming they offered $100 million signing bonuses to poach OpenAI engineers.
Explosive claims, definitely. And he framed it as Meta seeing OpenAI as their biggest competitor. Now, Meta employees disputed the exact figure, sure, but even the allegation itself.
It tells a story, right, about the incredible value placed on top AI talent, comparing them to star athletes.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And this scramble, it has consequences. On the one hand, yes, it accelerates research, pushes the boundaries faster when you pour that much money and competition into it. But on the other hand, who really benefits long-term? Does it create a sustainable research environment or just drain talent from academia and smaller labs?
It does feel a bit like a gold rush.
It has that feel, yeah.
Okay.
Enormous immediate gains, but the long-term societal effects.
And it's not just talent. Look at Meta's massive investment in Scale AI. $14.3 billion, a 49% stake. And bringing Scale's founder, Alexander Wang, to lead Meta's new superintelligence division, that's a huge move.
A very bold move. And the ripples are immediate. Google reportedly planning to cut ties with Scale AI over neutrality concerns.
Right, because Scale AI provides crucial data labeling services for many AI companies, including Google.
Exactly. So this investment, it highlights data access as a critical strategic battleground, maybe the critical battleground right now. High-quality training data is the fuel for these models. It's indispensable. Google's reaction shows just how intense these alliances are and how quickly they can shift when control over foundational assets is at stake.
It turns allies into rivals pretty fast.
Overnight, potentially. And you raised a good point earlier. What about the downsides of consolidating data access like this? It can create bottlenecks, limit access for smaller innovators, maybe even lead to less diverse or more biased AI if data pipelines become too centralized.
Okay, this ties nicely into the next big shift, the Great Compute Diversification. The infrastructure itself is changing. OpenAI leasing Google Cloud's TPUs for ChatGPT inference, that's huge news.
It is. It's a direct challenge to NVIDIA's dominance, especially in the inference market.
Why now? What's driving it?
Several things. First, economics. TPUs seem to be more cost-effective for inference workloads compared to general-purpose GPUs. Think of GPUs as versatile tools, great for training. TPUs are more like specialized production lines, optimized for running trained models efficiently.
So lower running costs for something like ChatGPT.
Potentially significantly lower, which is huge at that scale. Second, it's strategic de-risking. Avoids locking themselves into just Microsoft Azure and NVIDIA. Gives them more negotiating power, more supply chain resilience.
So what does this mean for the future of AI hardware and software? Is NVIDIA's reign over?
Over might be strong, but their singular dominance is certainly ending. It's becoming a multipolar world. The battleground is shifting maybe from just training power to inference efficiency and cost.
Yeah.
And this will likely accelerate software development, creating layers that let AI run easily on different kinds of hardware. More competition, more innovation of the stack.
Let's bring this down to earth. How is AI showing up in the real world right now? Healthcare seems like a big area. The FDA deploying ELSA, its first agency-wide AI, that sounds significant.
It is. Using it to summarize adverse drug reports, speed up clinical protocol reviews, all within a secure government cloud. It shows real trust and integration at a high level.
And the American Medical Association, the AMA, adopting that policy on explainable AI.
Also crucial, requiring transparency for safety, efficacy, how these tools actually work in a clinical setting. It's part of a broader shift in regulation, moving away from just being passive gatekeepers.
Towards what?
Towards more active gardening, I'd call it,
Yeah.
like the UK's AI airlock program. That lets developers test AI health products in a controlled environment with regulators. It fosters innovation and safety together. It's collaborative.
We're also seeing AI move into physical systems, robotics and automation. Google DeepMind's Gemini robotics on-device, AI running locally on the robot.
Yeah, enabling general dexterity with less need for demonstrations, making robots more adaptable faster. And then there's that manufacturing milestone, Foxconn and NVIDIA, planning to use humanoid robots on production lines in Houston by 2026.
To build NVIDIA's AI servers, no less, the robots are building the robots, or the brains for them.
Sort of, yeah. It connects to that trend. AI moving out of the data center into the physical world. The implications for manufacturing are massive. Complex assembly done by humanoid robots could reshape supply chains, enable more localized production.
But there's a but, isn't there? Despite these amazing advances, there's this adoption chasm in enterprise. You see successes like HII, the shipbuilder, using C3 AI effectively. But then a BCG survey finds, 67% of employees lack proper AI training. Frontline use stalled.
Stalled at 51%, yeah. And only half of organizations redesigning core processes around AI. It really highlights this two-speed AI economy.
So the tech is there, but companies aren't really integrating it properly.
Exactly. The bottleneck isn't the technology capability anymore. It's organizational. It's human. Companies buy the shiny tools, but they neglect the crucial part. Training people, changing workflows, fostering an AI-ready culture. You can't just bolt AI onto old processes and expect magic.
So bridging that gap is the real challenge for widespread productivity gains.
Absolutely. It's about transformation, not just technology deployment. It's change management, AI literacy involving employees. That's where the real work is now for many businesses.
Okay, let's talk regulation. It feels like it's evolving fast, but maybe fragmenting. The EU AI Act is coming in August 2025. Industry seems worried about readiness. Meanwhile, the US has this very decentralized approach. State laws popping up everywhere.
Over half the states with AI or algorithm accountability laws, yeah. And 48 introducing bills this year alone. It's a patchwork. Then add the geopolitical layer. the U.S. No Adversarial AI Act, targeting Chinese AI and government.
But China's Zipu AI is expanding globally anyway, trying to set its own standards.
Right, expanding into Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Kenya. It highlights the tension, this fragmentation. It definitely complicates things for global companies, different rules everywhere, risks in compatible systems.
Is there any sign of collaboration?
Well, that Indonesia-UK partnership is interesting. Developing an AI ethics framework based on local values. It signals maybe a move away from one-size-fits-all regulation, more decentralization, reflecting local contexts, which could be good, but also complex.
Shifting focus again, AI and pure science.
Yeah.
This seems like another area of massive transformation. Google DeepMind's AlphaGenome, predicting the function of the non-coding parts of the genome. That sounds incredibly complex.
It is, and incredibly important. That non-coding DNA, it's like 98% of our genome. It's the operating system, controlling genes, key to many diseases. Understanding it used to require slow, expensive lab work. AlphaGenome turns it into a predictive, in silico science, analyzing long DNA sequences computationally.
So what does that unlock, practically?
Faster drug discovery, truly personalized medicine based on your unique genetic makeup, a deeper understanding of diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's. It's a fundamental shift in how science is done, from trial and error in the lab to computationally guided discovery.
Of course, with great power comes, well, new risks. Cybersecurity threats, these worm GPT variants, malicious AI exploiting commercial models.
Yeah, using jailbreak techniques to get around safety controls, enabling even low-skill actors to create sophisticated phishing emails, malware, ransomware. It's worrying.
It really shows the dual-use problem, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Powerful tools can be used for good or ill. It means we need constant vigilance, stronger controls, better defenses, more cooperation between AI labs and security folks. It's an ongoing arms race.
Definitely a challenge. But amidst all this, it's also amazing to see the innovation, especially from young people. That story of 16-year-old Pranjali Awasthi, her $12 million AI startup, Delve.ai.
Incredible story. Shows how AI is democratizing entrepreneurship in some ways.
So bringing all these threads together, what are the big meta trends you're seeing this week?
Okay, 4 main things stand out, I think. 1, acceleration in AI for science. Moving beyond just finding patterns to actually predicting and generating new scientific knowledge. AlphaGenome's the prime example. 2, strategic diversification of the AI stack. The end of NVIDIA's chokehold on compute. More players, more resilience, more complexity. 3, maturation of AI governance, moving from high-level principles to practical, collaborative, sometimes localized regulation. And 4, the enterprise reality check, confronting that adoption gap, realizing that technology alone isn't enough. It's about people and processes.
That's a great summary. Looking forward now, what's the next big inflection point you see coming?
A leading indicator, I think, is Google donating its agent-to-agent protocol, A2A, to the Linux Foundation. It points towards a future that's not about one giant AI model, but ecosystems of specialized AI agents collaborating.
Distributed intelligence.
Exactly. These agents working together seamlessly. That could completely transform software development, how we work digitally. The next huge opportunity. Building the tools and standards to orchestrate these multi-agent systems securely and effectively. And that raises a question for you, the listener. As these AI agents become common, how will you adapt? How will you learn to orchestrate and collaborate with them?
A fascinating thought to leave folks with. We've covered a lot today: breakthroughs, fierce competition, very real challenges. One thing is absolutely clear: the pace isn't slowing down. Understanding these shifts is more critical than ever. Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep. And hey, if you want more, subscribe to The Deep Dive wherever you get your podcasts. And check out my YouTube channel, Ian Ochieng AI, that's Ochieng, for tutorials and more AI insights. Thanks for listening.